the Pioneer viewers, how are you doing? I hope you're healthy and happy. As the Pioneer team, we continue to bring you developments regarding Russia-Ukraine war. In a moment, we will convey a very important information from the front line. One of the most important advantages of the Russian army in the war was Black Sea Fleet, consisting of quite a lot of ships. However, the Black Sea Fleet is no longer an advantage. It becomes more of a disadvantage because the Ukrainian armed forces almost destroyed the Black Sea Fleet. So recently, the Ukrainian armed forces carried out a critical attack on the Black Sea Fleet of the Russian armed forces at several different points, and then reports of another attack was shared. According to these reports, the Ukrainian armed forces destroyed the missile capacity of the Black Sea Fleet of the Russian armed forces with their attacks, and according to the reports, there are no ships left in the Russian Black Sea Fleet that can launch missiles. To date, the Ukrainian armed forces have taken most of these ships out of combat. So what are the latest developments on the subject? Let's examine it together. Well, before moving on to our report, I would like to make a small reminder. As the Pioneer team, we striving to bring you the developments regarding the Russia-Ukraine war. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss our daily reports and explanations. You know that I also read all of your comments on our videos, so please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments. And tell us in the comments what content you would like to see on the Pioneer channel. Let's start if you are ready, the Pioneer reports. So the war between Russia and Ukraine continues to scorch the world, and the epic resistance of the Ukrainian armed forces is putting up a heavy and difficult fight against the Russian army. But despite this, the Ukrainian armed forces have lost none of their capacity to resist, and there is still a great resistance of the Ukrainian armed forces all along the front line. While the Russian armed forces continue to suffer heavy losses, the Ukrainian army is making concerted efforts to regain lost positions. As I have stated many times in our previous reports, the resistance of the Ukrainian armed forces is not only about the ground war, and the ground war is of course very important because when you look at the maps of the war, there are Russian administration points on the Ukrainian territory, but ending this occupation will not only be achieved through victory on the ground. Ukraine has a small surface area compared to the Russian Federation. Moreover, Ukraine's only point of access to the world through the seas is the Black Sea. Therefore, even if the land occupation ends, the Russian Navy's pressure in the Black Sea could lead to a naval blockade. For this reason, the Ukrainian military is working hard to prevent a naval blockade by the Russian armed forces. So in recent days, the Ukrainian armed forces have carried out a series of naval attacks. We already know that what happened to the Black Sea Fleet. The Black Sea Fleet has lost a lot of power, and it is an incontrovertible fact that this loss of power continues. So much so that a large part of the Black Sea Fleet has been moved away from the Crimea and where it was previously anchored. According to recent reports, incredible information has emerged, and sources claim that the Black Sea Fleet is now almost non-functional because the Ukrainian armed forces had destroyed all the ships of the Black Sea Fleet capable of firing missiles. Ukrainian Navy spokesman Dmitry Politchenko recently made a remarkable statement. The statements of the Navy spokesman Dmitry Politchenko were as follows. So, the attack of our military on the Sevastopol Bay probably caused serious damage. And we are now sure that Russian minesweeper Coverbirds was completely destroyed. We may have sunk the corvette's cyclone, but it is difficult to determine at the moment. But if the information about the results of our strike in the region is confirmed, there is a fairly high probability that there will no longer be a single carrier of cruise missiles in Crimea. And yes, there is such a probability, and yes, it is high. So we're talking about the fact that in the first place, most likely 2 units were hit in total, and we are still waiting for the results. To speak without seeing the results would be decisive, the whole public opinion. But there is one thing that we want the whole world to know. The war is not only against Ukraine. This war is being waged against the entire world. And for this free world to exist, Russian aggression must be stopped. Our struggle here is obviously not only to liberate liberate Ukraine, it is also to protect the whole world. So things are not going well for the Russian Black Sea Fleet, as Navy's spokesman statement shows, and the offensive capacity of the Ukrainian armed forces have reached the point of rendering the entire fleet useless. And we've previously reported on the unbelievable attacks carried out by the Ukrainian troops, and the effectiveness of these attacks is becoming clearer as the days go by. While the Russian Black Sea Fleet is suffering heavy losses, the effectiveness of the Ukrainian armed forces' unmanned naval vessels is also clearly visible. Indeed, in recent months, the Ukrainian armed forces have caused significant damage to the Black Sea Fleet using first-person view drones and striking large Russian warships such as submarines and landing craft, including the Yamal and Azov, worth 170 million euros each. A large part of the Black Sea Fleet was therefore shifted to Novorossiysk in the southern Russia, which is located between Russian territories, and the Russian Federation has clearly become afraid of Ukraine. The continuity of these situations is of a paramount importance, especially as Russia has lost one of its most important allies. The increasing pressure of the Ukrainian armed forces is something that deserves attention. So as you know, the helicopter carrying Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi crashed recently, and Raisi and his accompanying delegation did not survive. Raisi was a leader who openly supported Russia's plans to invade Ukraine. Therefore, he was very important for the Russian President Vladimir Putin. He was even willing to provide Russia with the Shahed drones that the Russian military used to strike Ukrainian territory. However, it turned out that the Iranian drones are not as powerful as claimed, and the Iranian drones failed to find the wreckage of Raisi's helicopter. However, the wreckage was found by Turkish-made Bayraktar Akinci drones, and you remember the Bayraktar drones from our previous reports, don't you? Bayraktar drones were previously used by Ukraine and caused heavy losses on Russia. From this point of view, the difference between Russia's arms pronouncements and Ukraine's arms pronouncements are clear. On the one hand, we have Russia, which receives support from Iran and which cannot find the wreckage of its leader's helicopter. And on the other hand, we have Ukraine, which receives support from Turkey, the manufacturer of Bayraktars, which have proven their reliability in the different regions. So what do you think? How do you think the developments about the Black Sea Fleet will take shape? And what do you think about the Navy spokesperson's statement? And do you think there is a chance for Ukrainian military to completely eliminate the Black Sea Fleet? Do you think there is a possibility of liberation of the Crimean Peninsula given the conditions in the region? Let me know in the comments, because you know that I read and I care a lot about all of your comments.